Some schools in Foni have resumed their normal learning activities after a month's closure after clash erupted between the separatist movement and the Senegalese army on March 7. Speaking to Eyeafrica TV on Tuesday, Lamin FM Jaita, Principal Education Officer overseeing the Brikama Regional Education Directorate 2, says the war has affected education in the areas of syllabus coverage in Foni. Details in this report.
The communities of Foni have been encountering numerous challenges since the tension erupted between the MFDC rebels and the Senegalese armed forces around Gambia's border belt with southern Senegal. This led to the displacement of thousands of people within Foni. Foni is always at the center of foreign troubles due to its geographical location. Mr. Jete, Senior Principal Education Officer overseeing Brikama Administrative Region, has this to say.
Yes, this has really affected the education sector, especially in syllabus coverage. Once children are not in school, there is no teaching and learning. But it is important that in a war situation, teaching and learning cannot take place.
The fighting between MFDC and Senegalese soldiers on March 6, 2022, which befell on Sunday and the next morning, 7 residents along with the borderline crossed to the highway seeking refuge. As a result, the region continues to walk ways for students to get to the classroom. The conflict has affected 16 schools within Foni, Jarol, Pondali, and Bintang. It has also affected 2 clusters. After 4 weeks of conflict, 8 schools have resumed sessions. The worst affected village is Foni Bintang, which accommodated most schools along the borderline. This prompted the regional directorate to intervene and work with cluster monitors, head teachers and principals to assess the situation daily and giving feedback to the permanent secretary and virtual education groups like UNICEF, Child Fund, Governor, EFONET, and regional agencies within West Coast region.
Janak Lower Basic School started session, and out of the 8 that do not start, is only Kappa Basic Cycle, Bunubor Lower Basic, and Tabakunda Basic Cycle. But you may have to understand that even before I come in here, I have been talking to some of them. And at Kappa, some teachers have reported. And I was made to understand that some teachers are also reporting at Bunubor. And we are working with them to see how best classes can start in all the schools that were affected, because the internal displaced people have gone back to their communities.
However, the regional directorate intensified its efforts in getting the internal displaced back to class.
We had meetings with some communities. The school management committee of Kappa came here, including the head boy and head girl. We made arrangements with them. They suggested that there are some facilities at the Agric office in Kampanti and also WEC International. We negotiated with the management so that approval could be given to us to use those facilities to have a temporal school for Kappa. And this shows that the community too were very much interested, because the information received was that more than 75% of children displaced are resettled with other relatives.
The regional directorate ordered Fatima, Aranglan, St. Edward Lower, and Sibanor, among other schools, to unconditionally allow students from affected schools to continue their education by enrolling them in their schools. The Gambia cannot provide quality education, and Foni is no exception. The Education Ministry sent home science examiners to conduct examinations for Kappa, and the ministry also intended to give remedial classes to Foni children before examinations to overcome lost hours. Reporting for Eyeafrica TV, I am Mafuji Sise.